Now, we're excited to announce on the Real Estate Talk Show our pick of the week. And Simon, you have been going crazy about this development. So before I introduce our guest, maybe you can just kind of give us your take in terms of why this is a wonderful opportunity.
Well, you know, we get access and we hear about so many different opportunities. Everybody wants us to talk about their projects and new investment opportunities. But the brutal reality is we can't endorse everything because we don't like everything. I mean, you can't like everything. You got to go with the best of the best. And, you know, you may recall back if you've been listening to our show, we had a fantastic result with the conversion of the iconic Four Seasons Hotel. If you don't know the Four Seasons Hotel, it was on the corner of, I say was because it's already under construction, corner of Avenue Road and Yorkville. You know, arguably the best corner in terms of value in the country. And fantastic results with phase one, which was the conversion of the original Four Seasons Hotel. And of course, now what's coming up is phase two, which is a brand new, ridiculous concept. When I see the renderings, it's just going to be gorgeous. Right. It's going to add to the skyline. Phase two, it's called the Cumberland. And we want to talk about that because this is the opportunity, I believe, for spring.
All right. Well, great segue then to introduce our next guest, and that is Richard Mariani, and he's the Director of Marketing for Camrost-Felcorp. So, Richard, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
So I think it's important because Simon made a great point. I mean, at the Real Estate Talk Show, we're all about educating, but at the same time, we want to give them because people call in and they want to know what are the best opportunities out there, what are great projects.
Yeah, where should I invest?
And where should I invest? Yeah. And I think it was a great point, Simon, that we don't just tell them anywhere because these are our loyal listeners. So, of course, we vet out and we make sure that we do our due diligence in regards to who we're suggesting that they actually buy something from. And, of course, your company, as well as this wonderful development, is one of those, and that's our pick of the week. So maybe you can tell us more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know Simon touched on it earlier on how this can't get any more Yorkville, this location. And there are tons of projects out there that market themselves as Yorkville that aren't even close to the proximity of the neighborhood.
You can't blame them, though, right?
Right, because Yorkville sells. Because
right, of course
Yorkville is the most attractive thing in this project.
An area known worldwide.
Right, and location, as it's reiterated every week. I want to go on and say that our location, like Simon has touched, just south of the old Four Seasons Hotel, located at Avenue Road in Cumberland, really pinpoints the gates of Yorkville. From there, you have your steps to the Louis Vuitton, your steps to the high-end restaurants. You're really centered in that Yorkville lifestyle, and that's what we bring to the table along with our building, which comes with a lot of amenities, the bells and the whistles of your five-star services, and the suite layouts, which come at an affordable price, which is the most important part of this.
Yeah, but one very important thing I noticed as well, Richard, is the top of the tower has been reserved for the larger suites, the penthouses, the 2 stories, etc. And I think, you know, when we talk about neighborhoods, people forget that a condo building is a neighborhood
in itself.
Yeah. The old cliche in real estate is you want to have the least expensive home in the best neighborhood. Mm-hmm. A lot of buildings that have come up recently have been, a tower of all small units. And that's great for investors in one sense, because I'm always looking for 2 things when I'm analyzing an investment. I'm looking for, will this cash flow? In other words, will it carry itself and make me money? And what's the upside? Because if there's no upside, why am I investing? So if you have, for example, what I would call one of the investor suites, one of the smaller units that you would buy for buy and hold or buy and flip down the road, the rents are going to be phenomenal because it is Avenue Road, number one. Number two, the values, you're going to get a lift because you're in the company of multi-million-dollar suites in the same building.
Just the same as that small house on the street with the big mansions. You have the greatest gain. Good point, Simon.
Absolutely. And our building is a 40-story glass tower clad with limestone and granite at the base, and the podium soaring 40 stories above grade. Comprised of only 310 units. So if you think about that,
that's exclusive.
It's great. You're less than 10 suites per floor. Obviously, as you go up the building, you're into 2 suites per floor at the very top. But like Simon had said, it is about adding value to that building. It's not a bunch of small units that are all going to be rented out. You're going to have some very exclusive high-end units there. And at the same time, the rest of that building, probably from about the 4th floor where the amenities stop, up to about the 30th floor, you're going to have, about 10 suites per floor with a range from 1 bedrooms. There's no studios here, so it's 1 bedrooms, real true 1 bedrooms, 450 square feet. That range up to 2 bedrooms and plus dens for about 850 square feet. And again, that Simon had mentioned in that price per square foot range and that affordability to live in the most expensive neighborhood at an affordable price, you can enter in this project for about $400,000.
Unbelievable. So to remind our listeners, if they want any information regarding this pick of the week, they can go and visit, of course, realestatetalkshow.ca or call our help desk anytime, 416-366-9090. But gentlemen, we have special incentives always for our listeners. So Simon, tell us more.
Well, the first special incentive is access before the general public, because you know the best suites are going to sell first. And if you want to buy in a AAA location like this, one of the biggest advantages you have is getting the right suites based on what your objectives are for rental or otherwise. Number one, and we've got some special incentives that no one else can get, and it's very, very critical. So again, call our help desk, 416-366-9090. Just tell them you want information on the Cumberland, and we will get that information to you. In fact, I believe we're also planning an event right at the sales office, beautiful sales office down in Yorkville, and we'll give you information about that.
Very good. Now, Richard, I'm coming back to you because our listeners are going to say, okay, sounds like a great investment opportunity. The price is amazing. What else then can they expect? Because always they ask about amenities, of course.
Absolutely. And I know our project comes with all the bells and whistles that you've heard before from all your condo projects, your pool, your party rooms, your spas, your change rooms, your gyms. But we wanted to go above and beyond that because this is Yorkville and you really have to cater to that level of luxury. So within our project, we have the 5-star services of a hotel. I mean, our concierge, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, can help you with your groceries. We can valet park. We have the ability to do your dinner reservations, tickets to your shows, airline tickets, help anything from that to walking your dog. We really try to cover all grounds. Your dry cleaning, your laundry, wash and fold pickup services. It's all been accommodated within our planning and development, which a lot of planning and development does go into this, and it's an important aspect that Camrost takes very seriously. It's not just slapping up the building with your layouts and your pricing. You want to make sure you take that extra step to make sure those services are accommodating everyone's needs.
Well, you're enhancing a lifestyle. I mean, I'm hearing you right now, Rich, and I've got to tell you, I'm thinking, okay, that sounds good to me. That should become my way of life, just saying.
That's your pied-à-terre, as they say.
Exactly.
But another thing I want to point out, too, is, we have a long history of working with Camrost. So, we know that they are literally changing the landscape with iconic locations like Imperial Plaza and, of course, now Yorkville Plaza and the Cumberland and many other locations. And that's important, too, because with the condo market's expansion has increased the number of players in the market. And not every builder, and we've seen some locations that, really promised a really good game, and the quality wasn't there when the building was up. And that's very, very important. You need to be working with somebody reputable, and certainly Camrost has the reputation.
Yes. For over 35 years, we've been in the business. Not myself personally, but our CEO, David Feldman, definitely has been
Were
there.
you born then?
I don't think so. Not quite. But definitely over 35 years of experience within this business. He takes it just as serious every day. He comes to the office. He's involved so carefully, every critical detail when it comes to even suite layouts on small one-bedrooms that you would think someone of a CEO stature would not even be involved with. But he's involved with it, with the interior designers, with the architects, to the landscape architects. He's hands-on, and he's making sure that every detail is not missed.
At the end of the day, just go to those buildings, because if you see the people and they're happy, well, guess what? You know that you're buying with somebody that is reputable, and more importantly, it's a heck of an investment.
Now, I also want to point out one thing that even you, Richard, don't know is we've now put together a property management team. For those people that want to buy a unit and rent it out and hang on long-term, one of the biggest concerns is, well, how do we find a tenant? How do we find the right tenant? Is it going to carry? Is it going to be a pain in the butt?
And more importantly, they don't want to do all that.
Absolutely. So here's what we've done. We've put together a property management team that has experience in finding and qualifying and managing tenants. We've arranged so that any buyer picking up a unit here at the Cumberland will get free property management. We'll find the tenant, place them, qualified tenants, and we're actually going to guarantee the rents for the first 3 years, and the cost is zero. Now, we believe zero is a good price to pay for that kind of service. But really more importantly, we know that we can offer this guarantee because our track record of finding tenants the right way, that's the way you would minimize problems, is by finding the right tenants to begin with. And with this location, it's not going to be difficult to find quality tenants that appreciate the value and see the value that is that location.
And this has all come about, again, because we had so many people calling into the show saying that they have the extra cash, they want to invest, but they don't want the headaches, they don't want to deal with it. So again, at the Real Estate Talk Show, we're always looking for other ways in which to help our listenership, and this is a wonderful way, certainly. So Richard, before we go, there's investors out there that, of course, are saying, yeah, this sounds too good to be true. And of course, there's people saying, I want to live there myself. So explain to us why it's beneficial to both.
Well, I think it's a matter of a few things here that we have to offer with this project. the Cumberland comes with everything from your 5-star services, your layouts, your amenities, your location, and again, to reiterate, the lifestyle. You're in one of the most prestigious neighborhoods within the city, within the country, that not only brings the most sought-after address to this table, but it also brings in some of the highest price points. People are buying multi-million-dollar condos all in your surrounding buildings, and you're able to buy in here for as low as $350,000 to $400,000. I think that is one message to drive home to those investors. And secondly is your lifestyle that comes with this neighborhood, your surroundings, your walks and steps from 2 major subway lines, the Bloor Street line, University line. You're able to get access to all the high-end restaurants, grocery stores, your shopping. It's all there. It's made for entertaining this neighborhood. It's made for a safe environment, and also it's affordable. And I think those are all important factors we should speak about.
You know, I think we'll be sitting here 3 years from now, 4 years from now, looking at the building, and people will say one of 2 things. I wish I did, or I'm glad I did. And, you know, we just hope you're going to be there with us saying, I'm glad I did.
So, Simon, for our pick of the week, which of course is the Cumberland at Yorkville Plaza, remind our listeners how they can get more information.
Simple. Just call our help desk at 416-366-9090 or go to therealestatetalkshow.ca and say, I want a condo package. We'll get you the information. We'll help you pick the best suite, reserve it. And understand, when you buy a new condo, you've got 10 days to review all the information. You can have your lawyer look at the info, your mortgage finance expert, your family, etc. There's no rush to do it, but there should be a rush to take action and reserve a unit and then think about it. That's the way you do this.
Richard Mariani, thank you very much for joining us again. Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, great having you, buddy.